Hey, welcome back to more Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time we continued the trial and managed to finally convince the prosecution to let us get our mysterious third party onto the stand, the hatted fellow calling himself Eggert Benedict. Luckily, one of the jurors just happened to know him, which is a fantastic coincidence.
Legs Benedict.
We have a 1 hour recess while they go fetch him.
Let's crack that egg head wide open. Yeah, let's
While
party.
they go fetch the fetching man.
Gina, how are you holding up? I'm starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now. Jenny! You alright? Why didn't you say anything?
What's the point, eh? Why go to all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me?
What?
Well, you saw it. That picture.
What picture?
You mean this? The photograph taken by Early's red-handed recorder? Oh, I didn't think you would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure.
It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it, ain't they?
Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court.
Surely you've got to have your doubts about me now. You can't still think I'm innocent.
Of course I can.
Jenny, why didn't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night.
Eh?
Gina's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information. But we'd really like to hear from you.
Alright then. It was after we'd had that dinner together at your place, right, Iris? And then we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we?
Yes, I remember.
After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to 2-1, to Winterbank's place. I had to know.
If Iris' story was there or not. How know the Baskervilles?
I don't know what it's about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like. Something what he don't want people reading. So that's why he lied to Iris about sticking it in lug with Winterbank for safekeeping. At least, that's what I thought at the time.
So you broke into Windybanks?
I just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all that was going to kick off, did I? I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as you like in there, so I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick, and that's when... What do you think you're doing? Ah! I nearly died, I did, and next thing I knew... I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like, I don't know what. Ah, you're the girl who was in here this afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. The manuscript. Have you got it here? Did Sholmes leave a load of papers with you? A story? I beg your pardon? The hound of the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady, but I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it. What'd I do with it anyway? I just want to see it's here, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you? So then the alcove unlocked the storeroom door, and we both went inside. And it was there alright, the manuscript. Sholmes weren't lying after all.
You did all that just to check for me, Jenny?
Anyway, Then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop.
Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yes.
What was that noise? Someone's breaking in! Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight that I don't know about? I think I forgot to shut the door behind me, sorry. I better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back? Oh, well, I'll come with you and... Now, don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom, like he said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. It sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help, see? So I was just about to go out the storeroom myself when... I heard a couple shots go off. 2, I think. Almost at the same time. And then there he was, right at my feet. Lying face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as you like.
Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Winterback might come for you.
Yeah. So I went to grab the old cove's gun. I figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Winterbank was a goner. Sorry, I had to. First, oh! Don't know why I did that.
You felt funny in ye head?
Just felt funny in my head all of a sudden. Kind of dizzy. And after that, I don't remember nothing.
It must be when you passed out, Gina.
Okay, I should clarify, because I've done this bit before, where I've, like, played a sound effect or a clip, just in VLC Media Player, and I've been like, oh, that was pretty good, or something, and, you know, paused what I was doing to do it and everything, and then I rewatched the video of the stream, and it just didn't fucking play, because OBS didn't pick it up. I don't know if OBS picked that up or not, but I played the Undertale Gaster sound effect, because she said Ghana. That was the joke.
Good.
Anyway.
That must be when you passed. Yeah, I said this.
Oh, really? Did I even say a previous line? If I hadn't done what I'd done, the old cove might still be alive.
Did you tell the police everything you just told us?
Of course I did. But they didn't believe a word of it, did they? Did they? All he said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me.
It'll be alright, Ginny. Don't worry. Stay strong a little longer. It's about to put the real culprit through the mill.
That cove, what was there in the afternoon? That Eggert Benedict. I still remember how he looked at me, like I was nothing. He was there that night.
Don't know his real name yet. I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. Appreciate your honesty.
You what?
Leave it all in Runa's capable hands now, Ginny.
If she had just said that to begin with, we would have a real reason for pointing him out.
Mr. Naruto.
Yes?
How come you trust me? I don't get it.
Like your hat.
I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGill did. We told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bog try off with him, even though he was a killer.
No, I could never forget that.
Oh.
Did what I thought was best at the time. Pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what.
But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off work for all you know.
That'll be my new career. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial.
You were?
Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. Strange as it might sound, the circumstances of this crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe me if it wasn't me who'd done it. Believe it wasn't me who... What?
Bruno.
There was one person who stood up for me, believed in me, and was prepared to defend me. Best friend.
Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest.
Sure get a lot of screen time for a dead man. I was so happy I cried.
Yes, he does.
Even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious. He had an absolute, unwavering belief in me. In turn, I developed an absolute, unwavering belief in him. Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first.
What are you saying?
I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. You don't need to worry. I won't let you down.
Give you up, run around, or desert you. Even though I'm a diver and a no-good liar.
Not like me gilded. I know that.
Eh?
Because you're alive and he's not.
That's right! You're a friend, Ginny!
Iris!
You know you're better than you think. We've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust.
Yes!
That's really all we need to know.
Exactly.
Mr. Naruodo, I... Defendant Gina Lestrade and her legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately.
Yes, of course. Thank you. I've been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time. So I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at last. Final chapter. Final battle. Wish me luck, Susato-san. Hope you're watching over me too. Partner. Table. Box.
I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Van Zieks, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness?
The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem.
I see. Then let us turn our attention to Inspector Gregson's précis of the case heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord. Although the professor's chemical analysis of blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom.
It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me. A very big mistake.
My lord, the subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building.
Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay.
Sir Eggert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon, and certainly not like this. I thought we'd be best friends. Seems so trustworthy.
Thank you for complying with the court's subpoena at short notice, sir.
But of course, my lord. As an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige.
Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the record.
Ashley Graydon, Communications Officer.
Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communication Station.
Or perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about. You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume. Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at a pawnbroker's on Baker Street. Been there on the night in question.
Ooh, first half of the line cut off, but that's alright.
Wow. That is the accusation indeed. This really is beyond a joke, you know.
Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath.
Gladly, my lord. Gladly. Did you enjoy my moves?
Alright, with this testimony.
Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbroking services from time to time. Are you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation. Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Some Scaramouche detective's homebrewed tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence.
I see you like to dance, Mr. Graydon. Can you do the fandango?
So, you deny the accusation completely, do you?
I must say, I am dismayed.
Oh shit.
For the highest court in the land to be swayed by the self-professed detective's toy. It was the will of the jury. Our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. It would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today.
By golly!
How long am I expected to be detained here?
If, following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement in this matter has not been established, you will be free to leave immediately.
Good. I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least.
Let's not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, counsel. Proceed with the cross-examination.
So, we'll meet again, Mr. Eggert Benedict. Or is it Mr. Graydon? My apologies. You are... Inosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met. If you say so. Ashley Graydon, enchanté. So... I trust we can conclude this quickly. But I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do. I'm wearing it.
Alright, let's see. Let's just press everything.
Yeah.
Press
Tried and true.
the-
Yeah.
Yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Edgar Benedict, I believe. Second line. Tell me, what made you objection? Witnesses here to testify about events that took place that night.
It was the same day in the same place. I think it's relevant.
He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions.
Ace Attorney prosecutors
Fuck off,
will really be like,
Benson.
we're here to talk about the murder, not what he was doing in the room 5 minutes before the murder.
Not relevant. You can't be serious. Thank you, because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question. Going to be evasive, is he? An effort to not give anything away. Could be tricky. Tricky. Have you seen these two men before? This pair? No, I don't associate with criminals. By a man who introduced himself as Edgar Benedict. I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me? The young lawyer there in the black. This is a farce. Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Makes me so upset I need to boogie!
God.
Well, needless to say. I've known... Alright.
Yeah.
Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir? It is past the hour of which I would normally retire. Certainly. Was not in the company of these rapscallions.
You didn't answer the question.
Are you able to prove that?
Objection!
Listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friend. You appear to be under a gross misapprehension of this on this point. What do you mean? What do you mean? The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene, obligation lies with you to prove your assertion.
He's not
You
wrong.
will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness.
Yeah, we gotta find a way to get him here.
Silent victory wiggle. Thanks. That's not what I would call a wiggle. Blood was found at the scene of the crime. No question of that. Mr. Sholmes' chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such. I am not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? How can you be sure that the blood is mine? Could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants. Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholmes' chemical is able to differentiate different blood samples by spare me the science lesson.
This isn't gonna work.
Who is this Sholmes character anyway? Oh, I assumed all Londoners will know the name. He's a renowned detective. So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective. Great detective, you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we?
Yes? Can I help you?
He's just like, actually, he is great. There's something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin.
What? Me?
No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you.
Right, I've had up to here with this. How many times have I got to tell you?
Yes, I know, you're not big bruv sulky. Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Can't blame me, Governor. You what?
Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Saw the bubble. Do you care to share that thought with the court?
Me thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him.
Oh, you what?
Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke?
Nothing. Honest, Gov, nothing. I was just thinking... If he waves his arm around like that much more, it'll open up the wound again, that's all. What wound?
What wound?
We were told the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna be healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, I was worried for him and...
This is a new low of idiocy.
Oh, L's bells! God.
Mr. Graydon, did you hear that? What? Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm.
You would probably pronounce it comrade, because that's like the British pronunciation.
Oh. Comrade. My lord.
Yes, Mr. Graydon?
Not stripping for the court. I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations. You know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. From the height of the bullet hole in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow a court official to examine your arm, sir. The left arm you're currently clasping with your right hand, as if in pain. No, I refuse. I have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I'm not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. See? I've already said I'm completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved.
You claim to have nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Wake's pawnbrokery.
The disc. Lord. The defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony.
Very well, counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon.
Intense stare.
Alright.
We have proof against that, right? Probably.
No.
Not this, okay.
It's past the... It's one of the security camera photos. I thought.
Oh, we do have it somewhere.
Yeah, we have it. I don't know. Did we not add it
So
to...
with Gina. Is the one...
It's not added to evidence? Maybe it just wasn't added to evidence, they just showed it to us.
That's dumb.
But that's dumb, so...
Yeah. It was like lumped in with another.
It could be
No, I
the
don't know.
disc, because that's definitely his blood, but like he could just say it's
Yeah.
not. I don't know, let's press
Yeah.
it.
Never had anything to do with it. You forget that I was there, Mr. Graydon, on the very afternoon of the incident.
And if you don't want to take my word, Gregson was there too.
Obviously, I'm not a complete stranger to the pawnbrokers. I'm currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my study.
Dick,
No! You were there to redeem an article. I have no idea what you're talking
Yep,
about.
there we
Yeah,
go.
come on.
Grayson.
Fucking back us up here, dude.
Yeah.
Do you have something to add, Inspector?
Eh? Come again, sunshine? Ooh.
You were there too, in fact, weren't you, Inspector? That afternoon.
Well, yes, I do remember meeting yourself and the pawnbroker this afternoon. You, your young Japanese assistant, and the accused were all present as I recall.
And at that time, this witness, Mr. Graydon, was trying to acquire a particular article.
Well now. I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly.
What? But you must!
I'm not gonna lie and pretend I remember something that I don't.
What's going on here?
Rexy showed us a picture before, didn't he? You know, the cameras that Hurley installed in window banks.
Yes, of course.
Indeed, and the gentleman picture bears a striking resemblance to the witness, I must say.
Exactly, which proves that Mr. Graydon was in the shop on the afternoon in question. At no point have I denied that fact. I merely entered the shop to peruse the articles on sale and have a word with the broker. Nothing more. This makes no sense. I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his tracks. Why would Gregson be trying to avoid giving testimony about what happened? That's all he's going to say on the matter, is it?
What do you think, Bruno?
I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he says, the less chance that he has of giving himself away.
The complete opposite of Hurley, then. He seems to think the more he says, the better.
Well, at least I managed to prise a little more information from these witnesses' lips. All thanks to the Skulkin brothers.
Yes, they were the key to it after all.
So he says he had nothing to do with it, Windy Banks. Well, we know that's not true.
Perhaps now would be a good time to have a proper look through the court record.
Good idea. I don't know what tiny scrap of information could become a valuable weapon.
Alright. Let's see. Never had anything to do with the pawnbroking establishment when the man was killed. But he's not saying he wasn't there. He's just saying he's never made a purchase or a deposit. He went in and he looked. So we need to prove otherwise. Let's see. This isn't gonna help us.
No, I don't think so.
We check the picture of Gina pointing the gun at Windy Bag, and he's just randomly dabbing in the background.
I'm stumped. Nothing pins him to it other than maybe the disc. But again, that's only the case if we can prove this blood is his. Because Like, we should just be able to be like, okay, here's some stuff we know. But Gregson isn't complying, so that's not going to work. I feel like we need some harder evidence than this, and I'm not sure what it would be. The only thing I can think of is, can you guys think of anything else that would be valid? Okay, okay. Our man is obviously irrelevant. The pawnbroker's ticket, it just says when it was deposited, what it is, how much was paid, and when the redemption date was.
Yeah.
On the back is a picture of a cat. There is a little stamp here that presumably, what's his face put on here?
So it's 13th of April was the redemption date.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with him. This, has Mason Milverton's blood on it.
Yeah.
And a stamp. And this one's redemption date is 15th of April. Which is... Let me look at this, because this is what he tried to redeem.
Mr. Windenbeck appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. It's written very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had on hand. So I don't know what's the front and what's the reverse side now.
Okay. Here's the blood samples, which we can't really present because it's Sholmes's whole thing.
Yeah.
Irish's story is not relevant to him being there. The McGilded case notes are not relevant to him going there.
Yeah.
They don't mention him at all.
I mean, I guess try the music box disc.
Well, let's keep going. I wanna just verify that we think that that's the best pick. So this is about some like government scandal or something, and this. Let's read this article about this guy's death again. We already read the text, so let me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't go into details, so. Autopsy report doesn't help.
Doesn't mention him.
It was Dr. Stevens!
Crime scene photo doesn't do anything for us. The floor plan doesn't prove he was there. This gun is Winterbank's. This is the Skulkin brothers' gun. Doesn't really prove anything to do with them. This shows Gina holding the guy up. Nothing really relevant to him there.
No. Look in the stereoscope?
Just look inside this thing and randomly there's a picture of him.
No. Music box disc is the most relevant to him. This is Sholmes related, this is Sholmes related. Objection. Okay, I guess we're just gonna be like, yeah, this has your blood on it.
Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon? Why? Is it supposed to mean something? This disc was, until the day of his murder, a pawn in Mr. Windenbank's shop. In pawn. A pawn. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrada, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try and take it from her. That somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon? As I have reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken. That was not me. I've never seen that disc before in my life. It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc.
Ah, yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps.
That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. The disc damage to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of this smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch.
I feel like they're gonna call this weak. They're gonna be like, he could have gotten those scratches anywhere.
Yeah, maybe. Good gracious, indeed it must!
Mr. Graydon. Mr. Graydon. You refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that it bears a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc. Well, well. It would seem I underestimated you.
What is the meaning of this?
So you admit it now? You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant.
Oh yeah! Well, Mr. Graydon?
No, I just suck my thumb really hard. It would appear there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc, as you put it. No, quite the reverse. What are you trying to say? Ooh. It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of pawn?
No, but we're trying to prove that you did that, and you're just like, nope, didn't do it.
What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now.
Thank you.
As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder.